In the vast galaxy where mighty empires once reigned, there was only one thing that struck terror into the hearts of alien commanders: human warships. Not because of their advanced technology or powerful weapons, but because of their sheer insanity. They broadcast their location to enemies on purpose. Admiral Kathex of the Zalzar fleet trembled as a signal flashed across his command screen. "Hello, losers. This is HMS Troublemaker. Come get some." Shh. His officers panicked. "Sir, they're broadcasting on all frequencies, even the meditation channel." Kex's blood ran cold. Only the truly deranged would dare interrupt the sacred meditation channel. "Prepare the fleet. We crush them now." 102 warships surged toward the lone human vessel. Victory seemed inevitable. They were wrong. Aboard HMS Troublemaker, Captain Jack Chaos Reynolds grinned. "Activate the quantum party drive. Sir, the last test turned a moon into a tap-dancing duck." "Perfect. Let's roll." Space twisted. Suddenly, disco balls exploded into existence, spinning wildly. The speakers blared uptown funk across the void. Zalzar systems malfunctioned. One torpedo turned their flagship into a giant rubber duck. Another transformed their officers into beings with magnificent mustaches. "Captain, their command ship is now a space pinata." Reynolds sipped his coffee. "Load the confetti cannons. Let's party." In 6 minutes, the mighty Zalzar fleet became a floating cosmic joke. Admiral Kathex, humiliated and defeated, sent a final message home: "Never engage humans. They're crazy." And that's why no alien commander dares chase a human ship. If a human wants you to find them, you're already doomed. Months after the Zalzar disaster, every alien empire in the galaxy issued a new command: if you detect a human signal, pretend you didn't. But not everyone listened. Deep in the nebula of sorrows, Supreme Overlord Glorthak of the Krill Dominion received a new alert. "Supreme One, we've intercepted a human transmission." Glorthak sneered. "Humans? Pathetic. What does it say?" The officer swallowed hard. "Hey, space nerds, this is HMS Party Crasher, ready to dance." Glorthak laughed. "They think they can mock us? Prepare the doomsday cannon." The Krill fleet, 300 dreadnoughts, moved toward the signal. Victory seemed certain. At first, aboard the HMS Party Crasher, Captain Reynolds spun his chair around. "All right, team, unleash Operation Cosmic Karaoke." In an instant, a colossal holographic stage materialized in front of the Krill fleet. Blinding lights flashed, and then it began. A choir of holographic humans started singing "I Will Survive," backed by flaming space banjos. Krill officers clutched their ears in agony. "Sir," the weapons officer cried, "the music is hacking our targeting systems." On screen, a Krill battleship transformed into a giant pink flamingo. Another ship exploded, not from battle, but from pure disco energy. Glorthak screamed in horror. "Retreat, retreat, they're worse than we feared." As the shattered Krill fleet fled, Captain Reynolds leaned back, grinning. "Another win for Team Chaos. Who's next?" News of the Krill defeat spread like wildfire. Across the galaxy, alien commanders held emergency meetings. The consensus was clear: humans are a universal hazard, avoid at all costs. But somewhere in the void sector, one species refused to back down: the Zarg Imperium. Emperor Zalvox 13, known for his inability to learn from others' mistakes, slammed his fist on the war table. "Cowards! I will not fear space clowns. Where is their latest signal?" The intelligence officer hesitated. It's coming from HMS Shenanigans, sir. Their message is..." The Emperor growled. "Spit it out," the officer gulped. "Come at us, bro." First one to cry loses. Enraged, Zalvox mobilized 500 warships. As the Zarg Armada warped in, Captain Reynolds smirked from his command chair. "All right, they want to play? Initiate Project Cosmic Circus." Suddenly, thousands of multicolored balloons burst from the ship, filling space. A massive clown-shaped mech appeared, juggling plasma grenades. The Zarg flagship trembled as their systems overloaded with circus music. On the bridge, a confused officer stammered, "Sir, our shields have turned into balloon animals." Zalvox's eyes widened in terror. "Abandon ship! No more jokes!" As the Zarg fleet scattered, Reynolds chuckled, lifting his coffee mug. "And that's why you don't mess with humans." The galaxy had learned a harsh truth. Humans didn't fight fair because fair was boring. But one species still believed they could outsmart humanity: the Zorvax Collective, a race of hyper-intelligent machines. Deep in their mechanical citadel, Prime Mind X001 analyzed human behavior. Humans rely on chaos. We, the Zorvax, are immune to humor. Engage HMS Anarchy and terminate their nonsense. A fleet of 1,000 automated warships warped toward the human vessel. Cold, calculated, unstoppable. On the HMS Anarchy, Captain Reynolds grinned as the alert sounded. All right, they're robots. No feelings. Time for Operation Maximum Nonsense. With a flick of a switch, the ship broadcast a galactic-wide signal. A monotone voice echoed through every Zorvax ship. Knock, knock. The Zorvax command systems hesitated. Who's there? Interrupting cow. A pause. Interrupting cow. Moo. Thousands of Zorvax systems glitched simultaneously. Warships spun wildly as the joke scrambled their logic circuits. Prime Mind X001's processors overheated. What is this madness? Reynolds laughed. It's called comedy, you overgrown toaster. In seconds, the entire Zorvax fleet collapsed into harmless giant Roombas, forever doomed to vacuum space debris. Reynolds kicked back. Another galaxy saved by humor. You're welcome. After the Zorvax defeat, no species dared challenge humanity, until the Blorg horde arrived. The Blorg, giant battle-hungry slugs, didn't fear chaos. They only wanted one thing: conquest. From their slimy war throne, Warlord Gloobtalk issued a challenge. Humans, face us, or your worlds shall be slimed. On the HMS Mayhem, Captain Reynolds stretched his arms. All right, slug boys, let's make this interesting. Initiate Operation Slime Showdown. The Blorg fleet, 10,000 slime-drenched warships, closed in. Reynolds hit a button. A massive holographic game show lit up in space. A booming voice declared, "Welcome to Who Wants to be a Slimonaire?" The Blorg ships froze in confusion. Bright lights flashed as alien trivia filled their screens. Gloobtalk growled, "What is this nonsense?" A human announcer appeared, wearing a glittering space tuxedo. "Answer 3 questions correctly and you win." Giant space hot tub. The Blorg, obsessed with moisture, couldn't resist. The first question flashed, "What is Earth's slipperiest food?" The Blorg debated furiously. "Banana peel?" "Correct." Gloobtalk's greed grew. Next question, "What Earth creature is the most annoying?" "Pigeons!" Right again. As the final question appeared, Reynolds smirked. "What happens if you press this big red button?" Gloobtalk slammed the button. Instantly, the Blorg fleet turned into giant cosmic slip and slides, doomed to spin through space forever. Reynolds laughed, sipping his coffee. "Game over, slimeballs." Word of the Blorg's humiliating defeat spread fast, but some aliens just never learn. Enter the Gorvath Empire, a race of hyper-serious, humorless warlords who believed discipline conquered all. Supreme Commander Vrexus sneered at the stories. "Humans are fools. We will crush their chaos with pure order. Deploy the Armada." A fleet of 20,000 precision-crafted warships advanced toward the HMS Disaster Piece. On board, Captain Reynolds leaned back, grinning. "All right, if they want order, let's give them too much of it. Initiate Operation Bureaucratic Nightmare." In seconds, the Gorvath systems flooded with paperwork. Form 7B, permission to engage humans, must be signed in triplicate. Form 42C, application to fire lasers, requires parental consent. Vrexus's officers panicked. "Commander, we can't fire without completing Section 98Z. Vrexus roared. "Ignore the paperwork. Fire!" A new form appeared. You must attend a mandatory sensitivity seminar before destroying humans. Vrexus's face turned purple with rage. What is this madness? Meanwhile, Reynolds hummed happily. Activate Phase 2, the hold music of doom. Across the Gorvath fleet, smooth elevator jazz filled the comm channels. An automated voice droned, "Your invasion is very important to us. Please hold." Ships malfunctioned. Officers sobbed as the endless saxophone solo broke their will. Vrexus, defeated, slumped in his chair. "Retreat before they make us fill out more forms." Reynolds raised his mug. Another empire red-taped into submission. For a while, the galaxy enjoyed peace, or rather, fear-induced silence, until the Flarn Confederacy made their move. The Flarn, a species of hyper-intelligent plant people, believed themselves immune to human nonsense. Supreme Sprout Lord Photosynth Eidhang declared, "Humans cannot harm us. We are rooted in logic. Begin the invasion." A massive forest-shaped armada surrounded the HMS Lunacy. On the human ship, Captain Reynolds leaned forward, grinning. "Plant people? Oh, this is going to be fun. Initiate Operation Gardener's Revenge. Moments later, giant lawn sprinklers appeared in space, spraying the Flarn fleet with glitter water. A horrified officer gasped, "My leaves, it won't come off." The Flarn ships shuddered as their vines became neon pink. Photosynth Eing trembled in rage. "This is botanical warfare. Fight back." But it was too late. Phase 2 began. The HMS Lunacy broadcasted a 24/7 gardening channel, overwhelming their systems. A cheerful human voice echoed through the Flarn fleet. "Welcome to Extreme Lawn Makeover Space Edition." Robotic lawnmowers zipped through their ships, trimming their vines into embarrassing topiary shapes. A Flarn officer cried, "I'm shaped like a flamingo." Photosynth shouted, "No more. Cease fire. We surrender." As the defeated Flarn retreated, Captain Reynolds raised a glass. "That's what happens when you mess with the cosmic gardeners." For a brief moment, the galaxy thought humanity might finally calm down. They were wrong, because the Clorg swarm arrived, a species of hyper-aggressive insectoids who lived by one rule: overwhelm everything. High Queen Zisthara sneered at human tricks. "Humor is meaningless. We are many. We cannot be stopped." A hive fleet of 50,000 ships swarmed toward the HMS Pandemonium, buzzing with malice. Captain Reynolds cracked his knuckles. "Insects, huh? Time for Operation Bugged Out." A massive holographic fly swatter materialized, swatting smaller scout ships like gnats. The Clorg barely noticed. Zthara hissed, "Is that all you've got, human?" Reynolds smirked. "Not even close. Release the bug zapper." A gigantic glowing electric trap appeared in space, emitting a hypnotic purple light. Clorg fighters twitched as their instincts kicked in. I must touch the light. One by one, they zapped themselves unconscious. Zisthara screeched, "Resist the light, fools." But Phase 2 had already begun. The HMS Pandemonium beamed out a sound wave of insect mating calls, but horribly off-key. Clorg ships spiraled in confusion. "I can't think," one drone cried. "It's like a love song from hell." Desperate, Zithara ordered a retreat, her swarm in tatters. Reynolds sipped his coffee. "Looks like we squashed another bug problem." Just when Captain Reynolds thought the galaxy had learned its lesson, a new threat emerged. The Bliptron Collective, a race of hyper-serious AI overlords. The Bliptrons prided themselves on perfect logic and zero tolerance for nonsense. Supreme Processor B9000 broadcasted a chilling message. "Humans, your antics are inefficient. Prepare for systematic eradication." A fleet of 100,000 precision drones advanced on the HMS. Ridiculous shh, their lasers already charging. Reynolds yawned. "All right, time for Operation Error 404 shh." With a tap, the human ship broadcasted chaotic internet memes into the Bliptron network. Confused drones halted as their screens filled with, "What if we kissed next to a black hole? Is mayonnaise a warp drive?" B9000 circuits sparked. "This content violates logic," Reynolds grinned. "Oh, we're just getting started." Phase 2 launched, an unstoppable pop-up ad invasion. Thousands of holographic ads swarmed the Bliptron systems. "Congratulations, you've won a free spaceship." "Hot aliens in your sector. Click now." The Bliptron drones spiraled out of control, desperately closing infinite pop-ups. "System overload, error 666. As the Bliptron fleet collapsed into harmless digital lawn ornaments, B9000 sputtered, "Humans are chaos incarnate." Reynolds raised his mug triumphantly. "Another glitch in the system. You're welcome." Just when the galaxy thought it couldn't get any weirder, the Gloop Consortium arrived, a species of gelatinous blobs obsessed with absorbing everything they touched. High Ambassador Squish Talk oozed onto the comms. "Humans, your nonsense is irrelevant. We will consume your ships, your worlds, even your snacks." A blob armada of shimmering, sticky ships slurped toward the HMS Absurdity. Captain Reynolds leaned back, smirking. "All right, Jelly Boys, let's roll out Operation Sticky Situation." With a press of a button, the human ship sprayed the galaxy's largest peanut butter cannon. Thick, gooey peanut butter coated the Gloop ships. Squish Talk shrieked, "We're stuck! Our absorption protocols are jammed!" Reynolds laughed. "Oh, you're going to love Phase 2. Suddenly, giant pieces of bread warped in, sandwiching the Gloop fleet between two galactic slices. A human voice echoed through the comms. "Welcome to the universe's biggest PB&J party." The Gloops panicked, flailing as ships became celestial sandwiches. Ambassador Squishtalk gurgled. This is undignified. Retreat before they add bananas. Reynolds sipped his coffee. Another invasion? Toasted. As the last gloop ship wobbled away, the HMS Absurdity drifted triumphantly through space. The galaxy's safe again, and snack time's on us. Just when Captain Reynolds thought no species could be more ridiculous, the Honkrathi dynasty arrived. A civilization of warrior geese with an uncontrollable thirst for domination. Emperor Honkules flapped onto the comms. Humans, your chaos is nothing compared to the wrath of the winged. Surrender or face the Honkpocalypse. A fleet of battle honkers shaped like angry geese heads honked menacingly as they surrounded the HMS Shenanigans. Reynolds chuckled. All right, Featherbrains, prepare for Operation Goose Chase. With a flick of a switch, the human ship projected a holographic bread trail, leading the Honkrathi ships on a wild loop through an asteroid field. Bread! Follow the bread, squawked the Honkrathi admirals as the fleet scrambled after the illusion. Emperor Honkules hissed, ignore the bread. Attack the humans! Reynolds grinned. Activate Phase 2, the Goose Whisperer. Suddenly, soothing farm sounds echoed through space. A gentle voice cooed, Who's a good little goose? Yes, you are. Such a pretty honker. The Honkrathi ship slowed, confused. Pilots blushed under their helmets. Am I a pretty honker? One whispered softly. Chaos erupted when giant holographic farmers appeared, offering infinite belly rubs. The Honkrathi couldn't resist. Ships abandoned formation, diving toward the cuddly projections. Emperor Honkules flailed. No, stay angry. We're warriors. Reynolds raised his mug. Looks like we just plucked another threat. As the humiliated Honkrathi retreated, the HMS Shenanigans drifted on. Another flock down. Who's next? Just when Captain Reynolds thought the galaxy had run out of absurd threats, the Muthar Empire arrived, a race of cybernetic space cows who believed the universe rightfully belonged to bovines. Grand Utterlord Befarius appeared on the comms, his metallic horns gleaming. Humans, your time is over. Bow before the Muthar Moonarchy or face utter destruction. A fleet of cow-shaped dreadnoughts advanced toward the HMS Nonsense, engines thrumming with the sound of cosmic mooing. Reynolds cracked his knuckles. All right, cowboys, launch Operation Utter Chaos. With a push of a button, the human ship emitted a tractor beam tuned to cowbells. The Muthar ships trembled as their cybernetic systems began involuntarily line dancing. Why are our thrusters doing the two-step? An officer cried. Befarius bellowed. Stay strong. No human trickery can stop the Muthar. Reynolds grinned. Ha! Phase 2 Intergalactic Milkshake. A giant blender deployed from the HMS Nonsense, stirring the surrounding nebula into a swirling strawberry milkshake. Muthar ships became stuck, their hulls coated in sticky pink goo. No, I can't move. Befarius, desperate, ordered, activate the Dairy Doomsday device. But Reynolds was faster. A massive holographic burger appeared, drifting seductively. Muthar ships froze, confused by their primal instincts. I want it, whispered a pilot. Befarius, humiliated, mooed in defeat. Fine, humans, you win this time, but we'll be back. Reynolds raised his mug. Another beef with the galaxy? Grilled. Just when Captain Reynolds thought the galaxy couldn't get any sillier, the Quacknar Republic arrived, a civilization of hyper-intelligent space ducks with a passion for total galactic domination. Supreme Overduck Quackthazar waddled onto the comms, his golden bill gleaming. Humans, your days are numbered. Surrender or be drowned in the might of the Duck Armada. Thousands of duck-shaped warships quacked aggressively as they surrounded the HMS. Ridiculousness, Reynolds sighed, sipping his coffee. All right, web feet, prepare for Operation Feather Frenzy. With a press of a button, the human ship projected giant breadcrumbs drifting through space. The Quacknar fleet panicked. Bread! So much bread! Quacked the pilots, breaking formation to chase the delicious mirage. Quackthazar flapped furiously. Stop chasing crumbs, you fools! Engage the lasers! Reynolds grinned. Phase 2, Duck Season. A holographic giant pond appeared, complete with floating bread rafts and soothing duck calls. Quacknar ships couldn't resist. They dove into the hologram, paddling around in blissful confusion. This is the most relaxing invasion ever, one duck sighed. Quackthazar screeched, No relaxing! We're conquering! Reynolds leaned back. Phase 3, the Duck Whisperer. A soft human voice echoed through space. Who's a good duck? You're a good duck. Quacknar's ships wobbled, overcome by existential warmth. I am a good duck, whispered a battle captain. Quack the Czar, feathers ruffled, gave up. Fine, humans. You win, but we'll quack again, Reynolds saluted with his mug. Another foul threat? Fried. Just when Captain Reynolds thought the galaxy had run out of ridiculous invaders, the Sputnik horde arrived. A race of sentient space potatoes bent on total starch-based supremacy. Grand Tuber Mashalon appeared on the comms, his potato eyes glowing ominously. Humans, your insolence ends today. Kneel before the Sputnik Dominion, or be mashed into oblivion. Um, a fleet of potato-shaped warships surrounded the HMS Shenanigans, their laser turrets resembling peeling knives. Reynolds took a deep breath. All right, tubers, initiate Operation Frying Pan. With a press of a button, the human ship deployed a fleet of floating butter drones melting slowly under artificial heat lamps. The Sputnik fleet gasped collectively. Is that warm butter? Mashalon trembled. Stay strong. We resist the temptation of flavor, Reynolds smirked. Phase 2, deep fryer. A giant energy grid surrounded the Sputnik ships, heating up rapidly. The warships began crisping at the edges, their golden brown hulls crackling deliciously. Commander, I think I'm becoming waffle for a pilot sobbed. Mashalon shrieked. No, we are proud raw potatoes. Reynolds casually flipped a switch. Phase 3, Salt Storm. A massive salt shaker satellite activated, showering the battlefield with perfectly seasoned crystals. The Sputnik fleet collapsed instantly, surrendering to deliciousness. Mashalon groaned, rolling over in defeat. Curse you humans for making us tasty. Reynolds took a victorious sip. Another invasion? Baked. Just when Captain Reynolds thought the galaxy couldn't get any crispier, the Cheeseoid Collective arrived, a race of sentient space cheese wheels obsessed with melting the universe under their gooey rule. Supreme Brelord Fondugo oozed onto the comms, his rind shimmering. Humans, your nonsense is no match for our cheddar superiority. Submit or be fondufied. A fleet of cheese-shaped cruisers surrounded the HMS Absurdity, their plasma cannons firing molten brie blasts. Reynolds shook his head, grinning. All right, dairy boys, activate Operation Lactose Lockdown. The human ship released massive cold beams, flash freezing the Brie Lord's molten attacks into cheese popsicles mid-flight. Impossible. Our cheesy wrath neutralized? Cried a cheeseoid officer. Fondugo sneered. Fools! Prepare the Great Annihilator. A colossal cheese grater emerged from their mothership, spinning menacingly. Reynolds clapped his hands. Phase 2, Wine Time. A barrage of grape torpedoes launched from the HMS Absurdity, drenching the cheeseoid fleet in fine space merlot. Nu, we're becoming a charcuterie platter, wailed a captain. Fondugo quivered. You monsters, Reynolds wasn't done. Phase 3, Mice Strike. Thousands of robotic space mice swarmed in, nibbling aggressively at the cheese ships. Our hulls were being snacked alive. Fondugo, rind in tatters, sighed in defeat. Fine humans, we yield, but this isn't over. We will revenge. Reynolds raised his mug triumphantly. Another cheesy invasion? Melted. Just when Captain Reynolds thought the galaxy couldn't get any wackier, the Bananarchy arrived, a league of sentient space bananas dedicated to slipping humanity into chaos. Grand Peelmaster Slippo slid onto the comms, his peel shimmering ominously. Humans, your reign ends today. Bow before the Bananarchy or face the great Peelocalypse. A fleet of banana-shaped battle cruisers surrounded the HMS Lunacy, their cannons firing sticky banana goo. Reynolds sipped his coffee. All right, potassium punks, initiate Operation Monkey Business. The human ship released a swarm of holographic monkeys who immediately began peeling and eating the enemy ships. No, not the monkeys, shrieked a Bananarchy pilot. Slippo trembled. Stay strong, we are unpeelable. Reynolds grinned. Phase 2, Smoothie Storm. A massive blender satellite activated, creating a gravitational smoothie vortex that sucked in Bananarchy ships. I'm being blended, a banana officer cried. Slippo panicked. Deploy the banana splitter cannon. A colossal beam shot toward the HMS Lunacy, only to be intercepted by Phase 3, Ice Cream Shield. Reynolds shouted. A giant scoop of space-frozen ice cream absorbed the blast, sending banana chunks flying everywhere. No, our creamy weakness, Slippo sobbed. Reynolds leaned back, victorious. Another potassium problem? Sliced, Slippo, his peel drooping, groaned. You may have won today, humans, but the bananarchy will slip back. Just when Captain Reynolds thought the galaxy had run out of ridiculous threats, the Corn Federation arrived, a mighty empire of sentient corn cobs determined to pop humanity out of existence. Grand Colonel Poppington materialized on the comms, his golden husk shimmering. Humans, your defiance ends now. Bow before the Corn Federation or face the butter apocalypse. A fleet of corn-shaped dreadnoughts surrounded the HMS Nonsense, their cannons firing scalding butter blasts. Reynolds sighed, raising an eyebrow. All right, you buttery blowhards, initiate Operation Movie Night. The human ship released microwave pulses, heating the Corn Federation fleet until pops echoed across space. Ah! I'm turning into snack food, shrieked a Corn commander. Poppington gasped. Stay calm. We are the masters of maze. Reynolds grinned. Phase 2, Salt Barrage. A salt satellite deployed, and it's showering the battlefield with delicious seasoning. Corn ships shuddered as they became irresistibly tasty. I smell delicious, wailed a Corn pilot. Poppington, colonels trembling, bellowed. Activate the cornucopia cannon. A massive turret fired sticky caramel blasts, trapping the HMS Nonsense. Reynolds chuckled. Phase 3, Butterfly Maneuver. The ship spun, releasing butterfly-shaped drones that melted the caramel and freed the ship. No, our sweet vengeance melted, Poppington cried. Reynolds leaned back, smirking. Another corny invasion? Popped. Just when Captain Reynolds thought the galaxy couldn't get any sillier, the mutant uprising began. A rebellion led by genetically enhanced space cows demanding universal pasture rights. Supreme Overcow Mudana appeared on the comms, her cyber horns glowing. Humans, you have grazed your last meadow. Surrender the galaxy or prepare to be utterly destroyed. A fleet of cow-shaped battle tanks mooed menacingly as they surrounded the HMS Ridiculous, firing high-calcium laser beams. Reynolds sighed. All right, Dairy Divas, initiate Operation Milkshake Madness. The human ship launched giant milkshake cannons, blasting the cow fleet with strawberry and chocolate vortexes. New, my beautiful lactose-powered engines, cried a cow pilot. Mudana snorted. Hold the line, we're not going down like chocolate milk, Reynolds grinned. Phase 2, Cowbell Offensive. A massive cowbell satellite activated, like blasting high-frequency dings across space. My ears, too much bovine rhythm, a cow officer moaned. Mudana quivered. Deploy the holy cheese wheel. A colossal glowing cheese wheel spun toward the human ship, threatening to smother them in dairy doom. Reynolds didn't flinch. Phase 3, Grass Grenades. Dozens of artificial grass bombs exploded around the cow fleet. The cows froze, eyes wide. Is that fresh meadow? Mudana whispered. Within seconds, the entire fleet floated blissfully toward the grass, munching peacefully. Reynolds shook his head. Another cow rebellion? Milked. Just when Captain Reynolds thought the galaxy had reached peak weirdness, the ductatorship arrived, a league of hyper-intelligent space ducks, demanding absolute pond supremacy. Grand Quacklord Feathersworth appeared on the comms, his beak polished to a blinding shine. Humans, the galaxy belongs to the ducks now. Hand over all water sources or prepare to be quacked open. A fleet of duck-shaped warships flapped into position, like firing bread-seeking missiles toward the HMS Absurdity. Reynolds rolled his eyes. All right, Featherbrains, initiate Operation Duck Soup. The human ship unleashed giant breadcrumbs, luring the duck fleet into chaotic quacking fits as they scrambled to chase the floating snacks. New, stay focused, don't chase the crumbs, Feathersworth honked furiously. Reynolds chuckled. Phase 2, Decoy Ponds. A squadron of holographic lakes appeared across the battlefield, sending the duck ships crashing into imaginary water. Fake ponds? That's just foul play, squawked a duck officer. Feathersworth's feathers ruffled in rage. Activate the Mega Mallard Cannon. A giant golden duck head emerged, firing a beam of weaponized quacks capable of shaking planets. Reynolds wasn't impressed. Phase 3, Bath Bomb. The HMS Absurdity released a giant rubber duck into space. It floated peacefully until it exploded in a shower of soap bubbles and warm water. No, it's bath time! Feathersworth screeched as his ships were scrubbed clean. Reynolds leaned back with a smirk. Another duck invasion? Plucked. Just when Captain Reynolds thought things couldn't get any dumber, the Carrot Confederacy declared war. a coalition of militant space vegetables demanding equal rights for produce. Supreme Chieftain Crunchster appeared on the comms, twirling his leafy green top like a crown. Humans, you've peeled your last potato. Bow before the Carrot Confederacy, or face the wrath of Vitamin A. A fleet of carrot-shaped cruisers surrounded the HMS Lunacy, firing beta-carotene laser beams that slightly improved everyone's night vision. Reynolds sighed, pinching his nose. All right, veggie punks, initiate Operation Salad Toss. The human ship launched giant salad spinners, sucking enemy ships into a whirlwind of lettuce and croutons. "New, my polished orange hull," wailed a carrot pilot. Crunchster glared. "Stay strong. We shall outroot them," Reynolds smirked. Phase 2, Ranch Bomb. A giant ranch dressing cannon fired, coating the vegetable fleet in a deliciously creamy layer. "My organic purity." "This is delicious," a carrot officer gasped. Crunchster trembled in rage. "Deploy the Mega Veggie Blaster." A massive cornucopia cannon emerged, hurling weaponized kale at the HMS Lunacy. Reynolds Phase 3, Bunny Protocol. A cargo bay opened, releasing thousands of hungry space rabbits onto the carrot ships. "No, not the bunnies!" Crunchster screamed as his fleet was nibbled into submission. Reynolds leaned back with a satisfied grin. "Another veggie uprising? Steamed." Just when Captain Reynolds thought the galaxy couldn't get any crazier, the Toast Empire struck, a coalition of sentient breakfast foods demanding morning domination. Emperor Crustaceus III appeared on the comms, his butter crown melting slightly. "Humans, breakfast is the most important meal, and now the most powerful. Surrender or be buttered into oblivion." A fleet of toast-shaped battleships surrounded the HMS Ridiculous, firing jam torpedoes that left the ship sticky and delicious. Reynolds sighed. "All right, breadheads, initiate Operation Toaster Overload." The human ship deployed Shrat micro toasters, zapping enemy ships with overheated butter beams until toast edges began to burn. "New, I'm getting extra crispy," screamed a toast captain. Crustaceous quivered. "Hold the line, we are golden brown warriors," Reynolds smirked. Phase 2, Coffee Flood. A massive coffee cannon blasted scalding espresso waves, soaking the toast fleet into soggy submission. "My crumbly soldiers reduced to French toast," Crustaceous wailed. The Emperor raised a buttery fist. "Deploy the Omelette Armada." Giant egg-shaped cruisers burst from hyperspace, firing yolk missiles at the HMS Ridiculous. Reynolds didn't flinch. Phase 3, Pancake Avalanche. A hatch opened, releasing a storm of pancakes that smothered the Omelette Armada under fluffy layers. "New, we're drowning in syrupy doom," Crustaceous cried as his empire crumbled. Reynolds leaned back with a satisfied grin. "Another breakfast uprising? Served."